So what if a story wasn't just something you read, but something that was actually looking for you? Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of fiction that asks if a connection can be so powerful it can literally echo across a century. It all starts with a student, a mysterious book club, and an old, untitled book that's about to completely change her world. And right away, the story just hits you with lines like this. I mean, you can feel the longing in that, can't you? It's all about a love that has to hide in plain sight, a connection that's most powerful when it's most forbidden. It just perfectly sets the tone. And that, right there, is the big question this whole narrative hangs on. It's not just about stumbling upon an old diary. It's about the idea that maybe, just maybe, this story was waiting for one specific person to pick it up. Okay, so our journey doesn't actually begin in the past. It starts right here, in the modern day, with the discovery that feels like it's part chance and part, well, something else entirely. So we meet Louise. She's new on campus, just trying to find her people, you know? She wanders into this kind of quirky, intercultural book club, and that's where she sees him, a guy with this stack of old, leather-bound books. But here's the weird part. None of them have titles. Not a single author's name. They're completely blank on the outside. Instantly, you just know something is up. After the meeting's over, this mysterious guy just walks right up to her, hands her this green book and says, "It's yours. You'll like it." And then he just leaves. No explanation. He just seems to know with total certainty that this book belongs with her. So Louise gets back to her room, opens it up. No title page, no publisher, nothing. The book is a total ghost. Except for this. On the very first page, there's a single handwritten date. And just like that, we're not in the present anymore. We've been pulled back over 100 years. This one date is like a key, you know? It unlocks a door to a totally different world. Lucknow, India, in the 1880s. And Louise quickly realizes she's not just reading a novel. She's reading someone's actual life, told through these incredibly secret letters and hidden diary entries. And this is where it gets really strange. The parallels are just impossible to ignore. Our Louise, a student in England, is reading the secret diary of another Louise, a British woman in colonial India. One finds a book about a forbidden love story, the other is secretly living it. It's way more than just a shared name. It feels like an echo, a connection that just can't be a coincidence. The first thing she reads is a letter, signed only with the initial V. And it's not some flowery love letter, it's thoughtful, philosophical even. He's talking about the heart being a careful machine. It immediately tells you this guy is deep, observant, and totally captivated by the woman he's writing to. But then we get Elle's side of it from her diary, and you feel the fear. While V's thinking about the heart, Elle is thinking about the danger. In her world, just exchanging a book with an Indian man feels like sedition. That one word tells you everything you need to know about the stakes here. This isn't just frowned upon, it's dangerous. So through these hidden notes, tucked inside borrowed books, this powerful and really risky romance starts to unfold. It's a love story built entirely on stolen glances and words that could never, ever be said out loud. And you watch it build step by step. He leaves a note. She writes about it in her diary. We find out his name is Veer, and he's actually a student of her father's. The tension just skyrockets at this dinner party, where they have to act like they barely know each other, all while this secret, intense conversation is happening between them on paper. And back in the present, our Louise is completely lost in it. This isn't just reading anymore, she's feeling it. She writes that her own heart is beating faster, that her palms are sweating. She's physically experiencing the emotions from the page. This is the real turning point, right? The moment it stops being just a cool story and becomes something else, something deeply personal, where the line between the reader and the character just starts to totally dissolve. This scene is just wow. The historical Louise is tired of just writing letters. She wants a real moment. So she actually pricks her own hand with a rose thorn as an excuse to go to the hospital where she knows he'll be. It's so bold. And it works. He tends to her hand, and for the first time, he says her name out loud. And for our modern Louise reading this, it's like a lightning strike. It's one thing to feel a connection, but it's another thing to read your own name on the page spoken by this character. Her logical brain is trying to say it's a common name, calm down, but her gut is screaming that this is her story. After that incredibly intense moment, Veer writes his most passionate letter yet, and he uses this one beautiful word, behudi. He explains that it means to lose yourself completely, a total surrender of your soul to someone else. This isn't just a crush. For him, this is everything. And then he just lays it all out on the line. He knows their world won't let them be together, but he says it anyway. If she just said the word, he would follow her anywhere, even beyond the world itself. It's just so devastatingly romantic. I mean, after reading a letter like that, what do? Louise just can't bring herself to read anymore. She is so invested, and she's terrified of what she knows is probably a tragic ending. And this is where the story takes its final, incredible turn. She goes back to the book club and finds the guy who gave her the book. She tells him everything, that she thinks the story is about her, and he doesn't laugh. He just looks at her and says this: "Some stories don't end, they echo." He's basically telling her the ending on the page isn't the point. So she never does. She never reads the last pages. She's too scared, because at this point their tragedy would feel like Roe. But like the mysterious boy said, the story wasn't really over. That echo he talked about, it was about to get very, very loud. So picture it. Louise is in a cafe, the unfinished green book on her table. A guy sits down nearby. He's tall, has an amazing smile. They start talking about the book, and then, just as casual as anything, he introduces himself. The story didn't end in 1886. It just took a century to find its way back to the beginning. It is such a stunning, magical ending. It leaves you with this incredible idea that stories are alive. They're not just ink on a page. They can reach out, find us, and maybe even reconnect us across time. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What story is out there waiting for you?